So it's about 4 o'clock in the evening when I'm just about to break my fast. So I think I've come at the right time.
Yes.
This is what somebody in Calcutta would do.
Yes.
Lachha pyaz it's going. Black pepper, chaat masala. Oh, there's your mint chutney, so lime. The chicken tikka is moist and rather flavorful at that. You're crunching into that paratha. It's as scrumptious as that. That pungent, sour, slightly sweet hit of the kashundi. We've got the mutton seek roll here. Well, it's a little late in the afternoon. It's a little late for lunch and early for dinner. So I thought I'd have a snacky sort of a meal, and I was in the mood for some rolls. And I've heard of this place called CHAKUM CHUKUM here in Bengaluru that's been around for a fairly long time, and they serve the Kolkata style Kathi roll. So that's what brings us to Indira Nagar here in Bengaluru. So I'm with Arpita and Sujoy, the people behind CHAKUM CHUKUM. That's a very interesting name.
That is chatpata in Bengali.
So that's a Bengali term.
Yes, yes, yes.
Ah.
It's not a dictionary word, but it's more like a colloquial.
Meaning?
You're gonna have something chatpata?
Ah, and that's exactly the sort of mood that I am in. So tell me, you do the Kolkata style Kathi rolls.
Right.
And how did this come about?
It was all of a sudden.
Okay.
In 2009, way back.
Okay.
So we were here in Indranagar, we were new in Bangalore.
And I was working with Ogilvy at that point in time.
Huh.
And so 100 feet road used to be like one nice white stretch and only one fine dining, which is that 100 feet restaurant or whatever, and nothing else in between.
Okay.
And that's when we thought, why not, start something which we are used to, like, chomping a roll.
Huh.
Yes.
And that's how this idea happened. And we had no clue that at that point in time, it is going to be what it is today.
And this was how long ago?
2009.
It's about
13 years
30
ago.
years, yes. In a tiny little space, which is about 150 square feet of space.
Okay.
Even next to a bakery.
Huh.
So people will walk into the bakery and then they get the aroma of food coming. They wouldn't be able to find out where it is.
I can smell the smoky aroma of some kebabs or some
Yes,
meat of the tandoor.
Yes.
Huh.
So then we were just behind a tree, so people would go looking around, where is this coming from? So we had to put up a banner saying, great Kathi rolls just behind the tree. And that's how our journey started.
And I think when you talk about Kathi rolls in Kolkata, it's a street food, right?
Yes.
So you basically get your roll and you walk around with the Kathi roll in your hand.
Absolutely.
And even as I'm conversing with them, I can hear the siren of the ambulance, I can hear the street sounds. So in a manner of speaking, your location is pretty much on the street.
It is.
And so in addition to the food that you taste here, the sounds that you will hear here will also place you on a street somewhere.
Absolutely.
Where do the best Kolkata Kathi rolls come?
Now
in
that is debatable because Calcutta is divided. So for us, when we were growing up in Calcutta, we always used to go to Hog Market or New Market. There used to be a place,
Carco.
So that's why we used to really like, because they were crispy. Carco.
Okay.
And then on Park Street there used to be there's always
Spoon.
Kusum.
Golden Spoon was much better than Kusum.
For us, again, for the youngsters, it was always.
And I guess every Bengali will have his or her favorite.
Oh yeah.
So nobody will agree.
No, nobody will.
No, and then actually in Cal, rolls are like snacky items. But here, when we started, so roll became a lunch item, roll became a dinner item. Calcutta, you will not find people having rolls during lunchtime. Only rolls are sold between 3 and I think 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Oh.
Evening snack
But
time.
here when we
So it's
started,
between lunch and dinner.
Yes.
So it's about 4 o'clock in the evening when I'm just about to break my fast. So I think I've come at the right time.
Yes.
This is what somebody in Calcutta would do.
Yes.
Yes.
Walk in at 4 somewhere to their favorite Kathi roll shop, and we've arrived here at CHAKUM CHUKUM. Can we take a look at what's happening?
Sure.
Yes.
Of course. So this is the tandoor section. So all our kebabs are done in tandoor.
Okay, the chicken tikka
We
there.
have the chicken tikka, we have the lasuni kebab, we have the Afghani kebab.
The Afghani kebab.
Yeah.
And there's a green one somewhere in between all
That's
that.
the chakori kebab. The chakori has got the flavor of mint, a little bit of coriander, So a little tangy, a little spicy.
And there's some bread happening there. That's your paratha.
That's the paratha. We have option for atta.
Okay. Traditionally in Kolkata, what is it? It's only maida.
Bengalis don't care about where the fat is getting accumulated as long as.
And what is the oil that is used?
The oil we use for, see, if you ask Calcutta, I can't give you any guarantee what oil.
It's dalda mostly.
Yes, absolutely. Here we use Samkyo for sure. So we also do biryani. We also do the biryani we do on the weekends. The Calcutta's long grain basmati rice with the potato, quintessential potato, and the egg and all of it. We do mutton and the chicken biryani.
So that's done only on weekends?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
And the rest of the day, rolls and kebabs.
So the paratha is always a lacha paratha?
Always a lacha paratha.
Atta parathas, then the oil goes much less.
Why is that?
We assume that the guest who's ordering for atta, he is slightly more health conscious, he wants less oil.
So therefore less oil. You have plenty of options for vegetarians too.
We do have, because though we are from Calcutta and we are mainly meat eaters, but since we were doing this in Bangalore, we realized that there's a huge section looking for different kinds of vegetarian.
Veg options.
So that's where the aloo paneer, the chop.
So this is this now on a regular basis, but on the weekends we have special Kathi rolls as a weekend special.
Like
we do the Sufyana paneer tikka roll.
the Sufyana. So you got some fennel and things like that in that?
Absolutely.
So I want to do the chicken tikka roll for sure.
Yeah.
I want to do the mutton seek roll for sure.
Yeah.
Vegetarian, what do you recommend?
I will do the veg chop roll for you. So in Calcutta, we have this lovely thing called a veg chop, which is made of the beetroot, the carrots.
So it's like a cutlet?
It's a cutlet, but we mash it up and put it in the roll, and we finish with drizzle of mustard, peanut inside, and we finish with a drizzle of mustard sauce.
Kashundi?
Kashundi, yes. We roll it up and we bring it on the table. That's one of our highest selling vegetarian rolls.
So both of them go in one roll?
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be a loaded roll. Black pepper. This is your masala, chaat masala.
It is, we mix it in our own way so that we get that very unique flavor.
There's some more lacha pyaz that's going, and that's the kashundi.
That's our kashundi sauce.
So is that kashundi made in-house?
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much. Well, we got our Kolkata Kathi rolls here. CHAKUM CHUKUM, Calcutta on a roll. And we're making a beginning with, of course, the classic, which is the chicken tikka roll. And then we also have something which is very interesting. This is what they call the Kolkata vegetable chop roll. I think we'll make a beginning with that veg chop roll. I love the color of the roll because it's got some beetroot in there, and you can see that beautiful purplish pink sort of a color. So the chop is basically a vegetable cutlet, which I'm told has beetroot in it, potatoes and a whole bunch of other veggies. And then they deep fry it, and then that chop finds its place on this lacha paratha. And then you got some lacha onion, some lacha pyaz that goes in, some pepper, their proprietary chaat masala, you've got some chilies that have gone in. And not to forget that very special kasundi or the Bengali mustard, which is again house made, and that I'm told makes this rather special. That pungent, sour, slightly sweet hit of the kashundi. I love the scrumptiousness of that paratha. You're crunching into that paratha, it's as scrumptious as that. And what's interesting here is that they achieved this without any dalda, without any vanaspati. I can also feel the heat of the chili. I think there's plenty of green chilies too that has gone into that veg chop roll. I think I can also taste some peanuts in that chop. Sometimes when you're eating a cutlet, the texture can be a bit boring after a while because it's very pasty, but out here you got some roasted peanuts and that's what you crunch into. I think a good roll is about an interesting play of textures and flavors. So you got the flaky scrumptiousness of that paratha, and then you got that soft yielding bite of that chop, and somewhere in there you're biting into some fresh onions. I think there's also a certain sweetness in that paratha. So I think along with that maida, there's also some sugar that goes in. And I think that also plays a role in balancing against some of the spicy notes that you taste. The next time if I were to eat this chopped roll, I'm definitely going to ask them to go a little easier on the green chili, because that green chili has certainly set my tongue on fire. I think one of these rolls is a meal. And I've ordered 3. This is also a roll that feels rather heavy. It's a roll that feels rather solid, rather weighty even as you hold it. You want that in a roll. You don't want the roll to stinge on the stuffing, because at the end of the day the bread is fine, but it's what is inside the roll that is very important. And I think that green chili has certainly got my mouth on fire. I think I definitely will have that lassi. So the good thing here is if you find things a little spicy, they also do a lassi.
And that also with buffalo milk.
Oh, you do it with buffalo milk. Another crunch of the peanuts every once in a while. You're biting into the pasty texture of that beetroot potato veggie cutlet, of that chop. You got that fresh crunch, that moist crunch of the onions. And then every once in a while, you're biting into that roasted peanut. If I were a vegetarian, I would certainly be very happy with this roll. A good paratha is all about that lachapan. It's about the flakiness in that paratha. So typically, traditionally, what they would also do is they would add some vanaspati or some dalda to the dough to give it that khastapan, that slight crispness. But out here they do none of that. Thank you very much. Much welcome respite from the green chili hit. Whenever you bite into something spicy, the best thing to taste is yogurt or something made of yogurt after that. And I think on that note, we're going to keep the chopped Kathi roll aside and make our way to the original Big Daddy, the chicken Kathi roll. And this of course also has some egg in it. So if you like some more protein in your roll, ask for the egg. You can do the egg, a single egg, a double egg. Of course you can also do the chicken, a double chicken. But out here we've got the single chicken and also the single egg. Lachha pyaz it's going. Black pepper, chaat masala. Oh, there's your mint chutney.
And lime will come.
Lime. There's a bit of the mint chutney, the pudina chutney that's peeping out of that roll. The chicken tikka is moist and rather flavorful at that. Do you marinate it in some mustard oil?
Yes, little bit of mustard oil. And the garam masala is all done over here. Khada garam masala, we get it. And the chef mixes everything. 21 garam masalas will go.
21 spices that go into the making of your garam masala. So I think every chef, every kitchen has their own nuskas in terms of what makes that optimal garam masala. And out here, the other thing, if you were to taste this chicken tikka just by itself, I think it would be a little more punchier than a typical tikka that you would eat by itself. Right? Because out here, that tikka has to still appeal to your palate, still work its magic on your taste buds, despite being wrapped in that thick paratha. And I can also taste somewhere in there the creamy flavor of that egg, of that anda. I think that anda always...
It makes the roll much, fluffier and tastier.
It's the ideal soulmate. And I think if you want to really push your roll that much more, I think that anda is a definite must-have. I can also taste the hit of that chaat masala. So CHAKUM CHUKUM is a sort of place which is rather cozy. So there's 2 tables here. Most people order in or take away. I can see plenty of the delivery app chaps at the gate waiting to collect their order. So it certainly tells you it's a popular establishment. And after all, it's been around for the last 13 years.
They sit in the car. So a lot of people just sit in the car. They order the rolls. They sit with their families, friends, as well as kebabs.
So I think that's a good thing here. Because the road, it's almost like a cul-de-sac. So you can come here, perhaps park your car here and savor on some of these rolls. I love the smoky aroma, the flavor of that chicken tikka. There's plenty of meat in every bite. Veg chop roll is 180. The chicken is
160.
So chicken is lesser than the veg chop.
So this is the special roll, the veg chop roll. The regular mixed veg rolls are around $100.
Ah, okay.
And there's also something called mixed vegetable roll.
What is that?
That's got all the beans, carrot, potato, cauliflower, all cooked in the kadai.
So it'll be like a kadai.
Yes. It's
Like a vegetable kadai.
Absolutely.
In a roll.
Yes.
That should also be interesting. So I guess it'll also be a lot more moist.
It is.
So no matter what your preference, whether you want chicken, whether you want anda or some mutton that we will taste next, or you're a Shuddh Shakahari, vegetarian, you will certainly find interesting options here. You also have some ketchup and some green chili sauce here, but I'm enjoying the flavors of the rolls just as is.
That's the way it is.
That's the way to be eaten, right? I think the ketchup will sweeten the roll.
Yes, it does.
The chili will probably make it too spicy and sour.
So in Calcutta are people who, being a street food, where they add ketchup inside. So there are a lot of Bengalis who love to add, ketchup inside. So we have to keep it off.
Yeah? Oh, okay. So even a true blue Bengali would do that, add ketchup in the roll.
Yes, lot of people.
I can hear some kebab rolls order also being placed here. So the other thing that they do here is they do some kebabs. And they also do the kebabs in the rolls. So since it was my first time here and I wanted to taste a Kolkata Kathi roll as it's meant to be, I've ordered for the more traditional sort of version like this chicken tikka roll. But if you like your kebabs, whether it's the Afghani murg, the Sufyani murg, the Sufyani paneer, etc., they do a bunch of kebabs that also go into your Kathi rolls. Of course, and technically it may not be a Kathi roll. The reason why it was called a Kathi roll was that the meat was skewered on a kathi on a wooden stick and then grilled. I think these days people find it more convenient to skewer the meat on some salyas before placing it in the tandoor. And I think traditionally a kathi kebab would always be roasted, would be grilled. Of course, these days because of convenience, I think they cook it in a tandoor.
When we started, we used to do in Sigri.
Oh, in Sigri?
Yeah, that was a smaller outlet. So we had a Sigri where the boys used to do the mutton as well as the chicken.
The distance between the salia and the charcoal is much closer.
Is much closer.
So you need to know how to skewer that.
You need to kind of constantly keep working it.
Yes.
Otherwise it'll get burnt.
Yes, so it's much more time consuming. The tandoor is a much more convenient way of...
Also the heat is rather uniform in that.
Uniform, it's from all the sides.
So I'm also getting a Kolkata Kathi roll 101 from Arpita and Sujoy here.
I think the difference of a Calcutta Kathi roll is in the paratha. Mainly the paratha. The crispiness of it. It's a little sweet.
That's right. I could taste a bit of the sugar in that.
So I think the key is about paratha. First bite, when you bite into a roll, the first thing that goes in is your contact happens with the paratha.
With the paratha.
Yes.
And then the meat.
And then the meat. Keep it simple, keep the paratha nice and crispy, and the tikka absolutely done to perfection.
Fantastic.
That's the magic of a good Calcutta style kathi roll.
So the paratha is like the dulha.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And the stuffing in is the dulhan. What do you say for that in Bengali?
Bor is
Bol.
basically
Dulha.
Bor is
Dulha.
dulha, and kone is the bride.
And what are the baratis called?
Paratha is bor jatri.
Jatri.
The paratha is like the bor, the chicken inside is like the kone, and the rest of the things that you find in, whether it's a lacha pyaz, whether it's
They are the bor jatri.
bor jatri.
Jatri means people who come together for a yatra.
So that's what makes a good Kolkata Kathi roll, as we've learned from Sujoy and Arpita here at CHAKUM CHUKUM. We've got the mutton seek roll here. ये थोड़ा लाल है ना? Why is it red like this?
One thing that we follow in CHAKUM is that to get the colors through natural ingredient. And this is through the Kashmiri chili. So we take the Kashmiri chili, we put a little bit of mustard oil, and then we kill it.
So you extract the color of this thing into the oil.
Yes.
So there's no colors that you use.
No, absolutely. I will never touch, because I keep on saying this is stuff that we always eat ourselves, and we're going to eat something that we believe in.
And I think also it has to do with the genesis of this place. Both Sujoy and his wife Arpita are not restaurateurs. So I think it began with the whole concept of them wanting to cook something that they would like to savor themselves. Gautam, thank you Gautam. आप तंदूरिया हो यहाँ के. The tandoor is a very important.
It's
plays
the
a
heart.
huge
नहीं, so that's what dulhan. Like we said, what is the dulhan called?
Kone.
Kone. This is the
bor.
The bor. I think I should go to Kolkata, spend some time, and also get the words. Get the words. It's a bit messy to eat, but then very often.
Yes, because whenever the onion is fried, starts releasing the moisture.
The seek has a bit of the dararapan, so you can bite into some of the texture of the meat. I'm also tasting some of the flavors of the spices that would have probably gone into that garam masala as that mutton mince was brought together. There's plenty of onions in this roll. And what's also interesting is I've tasted 3 rolls. One was a vegetarian roll with some beetroot, potatoes, veggies. The other was a chicken roll. And then last but not the least, this mutton seek roll. Now in the chicken and the veg roll, you could also savor the personality of the paratha. But out here, that mutton seek is so big in its flavors, it doesn't allow any of the other ingredients to assert their individual personalities, their character. So what you're really tasting here is mostly the flavor of that spiced meat or that spiced mutton. You got the onion, and the onion brings in a certain moistness, but it's largely the seek kebab that's heroing this roll all the way through. So tell me, in Kolkata, do they do a seek kebab roll?
I doubt. In Calcutta, you won't find much of the mutton being used. It's mostly people eat chicken egg rolls, few of the paneer and aloo. That also has come now. When I was a kid, I think it was only chicken and
Only the chicken and the this.
and the egg roll.
And I guess sometimes when things are put together, they may have been put together ages ago, but there's a reason why they are put together in the manner that they are. This is nice, this is tasty, but the reason why I ordered that chicken Kathi roll was that I wanted to savor a chicken Kathi roll as it was intended to be savored in Calcutta, perhaps decades ago. And as I've learned from Arpita, even those who come from Calcutta or the Bengalis, when they come here, they will first have that anda roll or that chicken roll before they savor many of the other dishes that they have on offer. So if you're savoring a Kolkata Kathi roll for the first time, my suggestion, do a simple vegetarian roll or a chicken roll. Once you've experienced that jugalbandi, then go for some of the other rolls that they have on offer here, like this mutton seek roll. And I suspect if there was an egg in it, that would have toned down the flavor of the meat to a certain extent. The seek kebab is moist, smoky, and has a dararapan. You don't want your mutton mince to be minced so fine that it's pasty. You want to bite into a bit of the graininess of the meat. And out here also the spices has a certain khadapan. It's like a khada masala of sort, where you can bite into bits every now and then. So I hope you enjoyed this Kolkata roll episode. So if you want to taste some Kathi rolls done the authentic Calcutta style, definitely find your way to CHAKUM CHUKUM, to this very cozy eatery, or order on one of the delivery apps. I hope you've enjoyed this short and sweet episode wrapped up in a roll. Until the next time, take care, stay safe, stay strong, and happy eating. If you'd like to support the work that we do at Food Lovers TV, do consider joining our membership community on YouTube by hitting the join button below or on the home page. You could pledge a nominal sum and receive special privileges like behind the scenes footage, shoot updates, access to live Q&As, and a lot more. You could support us on our Patreon page as well. For more info, check out the links in the description below. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment below. Happy eating.